Bus driver gets a strange feeling about a boy on the bus, and when he sees the boy's feet, calls 911. Tim Watson, a citizen of Northern California, may have pretended to be your average public bus driver, but he ultimately showed himself to be far more heroic than his work title suggested. Tim Watson is one of those bus drivers who pay attention to the people getting on and off his bus. Over the years he's gotten to know his regular riders. He knows their drop-off points and has gotten used to their daily schedules as well. Some of them have even become his friends. Whenever they get on and off the bus, they would usually have a quick conversation. Tim often tells them simple things such as take care or enjoy your day. In return, they would wish for his safety on the road as well. It goes the same every day until one particular morning. Tim was driving his designated bus route on what appeared to be just another workday when he noticed a young child and another young person riding the bus together. Although Tim had never seen them before, he first gave it little mind until the two took a seat. Tim watched as the two displayed slightly peculiar mannerisms, all the while maintaining his eyes on the road. He estimated the man's age to be in his mid-20s and noted that he appeared oddly preoccupied. What concerned him, though, was the way he handled the child. The young man made a clear attempt to calm the distressed youngster as they sat in the middle of the vehicle, and the boy began to weep. Tim had seen small children cry on buses before, but something about this particular scenario felt strange to him. One noticed obvious fear in the small boy's eyes as he silently studied him through his rearview mirror. Tim's concern grew as he continued to drive the bus. He could not help but keep watching the pair from a safe distance away. However, nothing would comfort him, because the child would not stop wailing during the voyage. And in return, the man, becoming more nervous by the moment, asked him to keep quiet. It wasn't only that he observed the passenger acting strangely. Then, however, it struck him like a ton of bricks. Unexpectedly, he thought of a news article about a missing persons report that he had seen earlier that morning. A 3-year-old child went missing from a San Francisco library, according to the newspaper. If this boy was who the authorities were really looking for, he felt compelled to save him, even though he didn't want to jump to any conclusions too quickly. Tim came to the conclusion that gaining a closer look at the terrified youngster would be the only way for him to feel more confident in his instincts. But how was he going to carry out this kind of inquiry while operating the bus? Tim tried not to worry, to be as unconcerned as ever, but he could not help but notice that the man was hyper-aware of his surroundings, as if he was trying to get off the bus. Tim needed to move fast. With assurance, he announced that a green bag had been left behind by an earlier rider. Tim made a clear falsehood, but by implying that the backpack held enormous significance, he gave himself permission to pause and search the bus for the bag. As the passengers obediently searched beneath their seats for the missing backpack, Tim was able to get a good look at the distraught youngster, who was wearing exactly the same clothes as the child on the news, including a pair of recognizable red Crocs. Tim returned to his seat after the fruitless search, prepared to resume driving and start working on stage 2 of his now flashy plan. Tim grabbed gingerly his phone and contacted 911, as the sound of the bus engine was loud enough to drown out his quietly said words. Tim was given specific instructions by the police on what to do given his risky situation. Tim hurriedly continued on his way, intending to follow the police's phone advice and make his next scheduled stop. Tim was reassured by them that when they got to the stop, the cops would undoubtedly be waiting. After covering all of the bus's exits, police surrounded the vehicle, waiting for the man and youngster to get off. The shocked occupants of the car left one by one till the suspect eventually came out. He was the one. Despite the boy's weak attempt to escape, the police managed to extract him from the kidnapper's grasp and apprehend him instantly. The 3-year-old grasped one of the cops' hands because he was intelligent enough to comprehend what was occurring. The boy's parents were overjoyed that their beloved kid had been spared, and they knew that Tim was the reason for it all. Police officials and the boy's family were incredibly appreciative of his bravery.